Guys, welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this exponential equation. So we have 2 to the power of 3 minus x equals 565. And what I want to do is I just want to get rid of this base and keep the exponent. So to do that, well, to cancel out an exponent, what we need to do is we need to take the inverse of the exponent. And the inverse of an exponent is a log. So if I take the log of base 2 on both sides, so if I take the log of base 2 on both sides, then these two would actually cancel out because the log is the inverse of the exponent. So if these two cancel out, and on our left-hand side, I would simply have 3 minus x. And on the right-hand side, I would have log base 2 of 565. Now, if I subtract 3 on both sides, because I want to isolate x, these two cancel out, and on my left-hand side, I would have negative x is equal to log base 2 of 565 minus 3. And now if I divide by negative 1 on both sides, so I could just get positive x, I would get x is equal to negative log base 2 of 565 plus 3. So this is our answer. To Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this exponential equation. So we have 3 to the power of x squared plus 2 equals 27 to the power of x. And what we're first going to do is we want to make our bases the same, because whenever we're solving for exponential equations, we always want to make our bases the same to make the equation easier to solve. So as you can see right now, our bases are 3 and 27, which aren't the same. So we're going to convert 27 to make it equal 3. And 3 to the power of what equals 27? 3, right? 3 to the power of 3 equals 27. So we're going to change this to 3 to the power of x squared plus 2 equals 3 to the power of 3 to the power of x. All we did was we simply replaced the 27 with 3 to the power of 3. Now remember, an important property of exponents is that if you have a to the power of b to the power of c, this is equal to a to the power of b times c. So these two exponents multiply. So over here we have 3 to the power of 3 to the power of x, and this is equal to 3 to the power of 3 times x, which is just 3x. And this is still equal to 3 to the power of x squared plus 2. Now remember, if you have the same bases, now that we do, we can simply ignore the bases and make the two exponents equal to each other, because if the two bases are the same, then so do the exponents, right? Or else this equation wouldn't be true. So now we have our equation x squared plus 2 is equal to 3 times x is 3x. Now I'm going to subtract 3x on both sides. So now we have x squared minus 3x plus 2 equals 0. So now what we're going to do is we're going to factor this equation. So we're going to multiply these two, a and c, and we have b here. So a is 1, so 1 times c is 2. So our product, p, is 2, and our sum is -3. So we have to figure out what two numbers multiply to get 2 and add up to get -3. So those two numbers are actually -2 and -1, because as you can see, if you add these two, they get -3, and if you multiply these two, they get 2. So now our equation is going to be x squared minus 2x minus x plus 2 is equal to 0. And this is going to turn into x times x minus 2 minus 1 times x minus 2. Now this is the same thing as x minus 1 times x minus 2. And this is equal to 0. And our two solutions are 1 and 2. Because if you plug in 1, it makes the whole equation equal 0, and same goes for 2. So our answers are 1 and 2, and now we could plug these in to our original equation and see if they work. So let's plug in 1 first. So we're going to have 3 to the power of 1 squared is 1 plus 2 equals 27 to the power of 1. Now 1 plus 2 is 3, so we have 3 to the power of 3 equals 27, because 27 to the power of 1 is 27, and 3 to the power of 3 is 27. So we have 27 equals 27. So this is right. So we know that 1 is right. Now let's test out 2. So we have 3 to the power of 2 to the power of 2 is 4 plus 2, and this equals 27 to the power of 2. Now this is 3 to the power of 6 equals, we can actually change 27 into 3 to the power of 3. We really don't have to use a calculator. To the power of 2, and these two multiply, so we get 3 to the power of 6 equals 3 times 2 is 6, so 3 to the power of 6. So this is right as well.